We're back with the Rival Series B stream, and if you're just joining us, you missed two pretty quick games, both with 3 games each. That's ARG sweeping Big Ed Squad and Underwater Squad doing the same to Team Vertex. I'm Jar of Jam, and together with Jay and Bacon, we still have 2 more series to go. And the first one on your very screens, that will be Team Zulu, team currently hapless, trying to find anything they can get by with the remaining season. And Flomp Resont is currently sitting at the top of the table. While there's still mathematically possible for Team Zulu to get back into the season and survive, the task in front of them seems to be monumental. Folks, your thoughts on it, thoughts on the upcoming series as well.
Yeah, this is like one of those situations where not only do Zulu have to be completely flawless, they also have to rely on everything else sort of lining up around them. So to say it's impossible is technically not true, but in terms of like the realistic sort of stance, yeah, it's impossible at the moment for the Zulu side. Obviously, they're going to take a victory right here, right now against Flomp Resont, which is just a way too tough a task, I want to say. This is such a good collection of standout players from the bubble scene who have made some great splashes in like the DreamHack qualifiers. Of course, got recent previous RLRS alumni in the form of Godsmiller as well. You know, Flomp Resont have been doing a great job right now. Took a little bit of time before they really took their rightful spot, I want to say, at the top end of the scene and of the league play table. So yeah, like, you know, it's such a difficult task, this match. It really is for Zulu.
Yeah, but you look at Flomp Resont last week, Jay, dropped to Vertex. I'm just going to say it now, so they're not immortal. They can drop. Zulu, they are looking, I don't say quite bad this season, but they've just been inches away from being able to take a win. Yes, they dropped to Baguette Squad and Method in 3-0 fashion, but Underwater Squad, that went to Game 5. You look at their match, they took down AS Monaco. They took a game of Discombobulators. For me, it just seems like it's probably a little bit too late, but as you said, Jam, if they want to get back into it, they've got to do it now. They still have 3 matches left this season, including this one. They take all 3 against Flomp Resont, Vertex, and ARG. Then there is a glimmer of hope because 4 wins should, and I'm saying should, be enough to be able to take that 6th spot, but it requires everything going perfectly and most likely 3-0 sweeps from them.
Easier said than done for Team Zulu, and we just saw Team Vertex, their chances dampened just a little bit by Underwater Squad. Against Flomp Resont, it's going to be incredibly hard, in my opinion. Their matchup against Discombobulators on Friday, Flomp Resont were looking, it wasn't exactly flawless, but I could definitely see them making use of all the space that was given to them. They've used every single mistake that Discombobulators were forced to make, survived the demos and bumps, so the physical play is also out of the window. And we already know how strong Flomp Resont's offense is. Coupled together with Team Zulu, often inability to either finish the games or to at least start an offense of any sort, it might be pretty tough with them. We know that they've played again with a sub in their series against Espanyol yesterday. Impact wasn't available. Zeph came in, and he actually came in pretty strong for his first showing in the league. That was as good as it could get, but while Team Zulu were in the driving seat, seemingly the series has slipped away from them once again, and that unfortunately is really the story of Team Zulu throughout the whole of the season.
Yeah, I feel like they've really struggled to reignite that spark over the course of this season. So I'll be curious to see whether they can try to do it now. Again, as you say, you know, at this point they'll be playing in sort of like a fashion of like, right, we've got nothing to lose now, so let's just go balls to the wall and let's try to see if we can and get a couple of series out of the board, you know?
And seemingly that pressure really is, well, pressure is still there. It's not like they can completely drop it out. We've mentioned tiny, smallest of the chances. So Jay, Bacon, let's see how this unfolds. Flomp Resont versus Team Zulu.
Zulu in the blue half and Flomp Resont in the orange. Let's kick things off and see whether they can relight the fire. As Taz comes out with the dribble play, trying to get the clears out towards that orange half, but so far the pressure in the very early 15 seconds, very little of it so far, but is going to be mostly to the favour of the Flomp Resont side as they keep that ball inside that corner and get the good challenges back into the infield. It's Impact is the breakaway. And Godsmiller has to take this one outside. Impact pinching passes though here alongside Noli into the box. Taz taking it off the backboard, follow up from Mitayan. Also goes on the backboard alongside Impact here with Doe with the boom back downfield. Godsmiller already in position to try and get some offensive going, but Though comes in and strikes back. Almost blaze it on the clock, but it is going to be the first score by Flomp Resont.
Yeah, no one effectively back in defense. They tried to scramble. Taz covering that back post, still trying to swoop on in, but not there in time. And of course, Matane trying to chase it on up. As you said, 39 seconds, the first goal. Here we got Flomp on that love getting aggressive. And Echo Zulu, they're more focused on the defense. So realistically, it should fall into both teams, I want to say ballpark, and we should see some good flow between these two sides, which means exciting Rocket League.
Need to see a defensive hold out though, because the offensive is coming right back in here for the Flomp Resont side as Nolly puts 2 in the back of the net for the orange half of the field, and Echo Zulu trying to get the challenges going, coming out of the net rather than defending directly in there, and nothing that Taz could do in the last round of the back line.
Yeah, good touch from Nolly there, using the post as well, Jay, trying to basically close down the angle and reduce any possibility for a save. Matane's though, he was given that, and it's a weird thought for Flomp Resont just to hand over the ball.
Still got that defense together though. Godsmiller recognizing the danger and stopping it before it got much further worse. It's Impact to Mite and leave the ball for Taz, trying to pass back into Impact here and get some sort of control out inside that orange half, trying to get some sort of offensive going. It's Godsmiller that will come forward, take that off the backboard. Taz is there also to receive. Nolly coming forward again, bounce out to the corner. Does go out towards the box with a little bit of momentum behind it, but it is going to be left alone. A lot of room being given for both teams to breathe at this stage, you know. I certainly think that Echoes would have a little bit of potential to work with. Mate going off that backboard, it's cleared away by one man, followed up eventually by Dhol and Nolly. Dhol gets demoed out, but Nolly here with the dribble plays, flicking it past Mate, not quite. A bit early on that one, but he can get the block off, trying to deny any shots coming through, any more shots coming through to the blue net.
Yeah, and I was talking about that flow where Echo Zulu like playing in defense. That was a good cleanup, but not the follow-through. Finally comes through from Nolly, but that looked scrappy and very scrambly in the attack. Not as clean as we expect from Resont.
Bit of a weird one, really, because the ball's sort of like bouncing at a weird angle, so the best they could do is bounce that off the backboard, and obviously Nolly coming in with that final strike actually did end up getting it in. That demo in particular from Godsmiller threw the whole defensive off though, and that is concerning for Echo Zulu. 3-0 down, a half a game to go. As Dhol and Gods try and take the brunt of the midfield. Second touch from Gods goes booming over to the blue half. Pinch in from Dhol, leaves it to dunk down in front of the box here. Mate back in, Godsmiller takes that out to the sideboard, bounce to the backboard in the end, trying to follow through with a second touch, but Taz leaves that one entirely. Nolly also continuing to contest here in the center line. No bounces out, Nolly there to receive the pass infield, backboard playing towards Godsmiller, the try strike. Good 50-50 on Taz, but it will bounce off that backboard and go further away. Impact continues to move forward, but will not be able to go much further than the midfield. A couple of good challenges might allow Mite a chance. Off to the backboard, chance for a teammate to strike. No, bouncing off that ceiling crease, just waterfalled out right-hand side.
I'd like to see some confidence from Echo Zulu to half rotate here, Jay. Taz went back into defense and Impact moved up. When realistically on that type of attack, Taz needs to stay downfield to catch the ball when it drops down in front of net and then just swoop that on in. Little adjustments need to be made by Echo Zulu, and it's all to take them out of their comfort zone. You can't blame them for wanting to stick to their rotations, because their rotations are normally so smooth. But going up against Flomp Resont, which are just going to force them right to the limit, they've got to come up with something new for them. 4-0. And so far, it looks like game one could be done.
I think you summed it up right there with one word: force. They're forced out of the defense here on the part of Echo Zulu. Just can't contend with the offensive play coming up from Flomp Resont, the 50-50s, the pressure, the backboard touches, everything. All hunting them down at 4-0 on the last minute of the matchup, and I believe you might be right when you say that this one might already be over. Serious adjustments need to be made by Echo Zulu going into game two, because I believe this one is certainly a loss, but 60 seconds on the clock. They try and turn it around. It's not impossible. It's just very, very difficult at this stage.
It's all about setting yourself up for future games, Jay, isn't it? So essentially, right now, you close it down. Echo Zulu get 1 or 2 goals and find the weaknesses in Flomp Resont. That is the crucial key here.
Touches into the blue half, turned away by Impact and Matean. Good strike from Matean, in fact. Very accurate from his part. Pass into the infield, and Taz ready to push up the right-hand side with him instead. Leaving a lot more control for Flomp Resont. They do punish it, get the pressure going back once again. No, he takes it out towards that corner. Matean will try get it back all the same. Oh. Here comes the dribble in from Matean onto Noli. Good challenge. Taz, no response, but Impact will be able to do so instead. And that will be the first on the board for Echo Zulu at long last.
Yeah, good realization from Impact there. You can see the jump in. He was in a little bit of a, I'm going to say, curious position over to the right, because he seemed like halfway between attack and defense. Generally, defense, you put yourself right on that midfield line. Attack, you're near enough on the box. So he's in this awkward no man's land where he's not committed to either. But there, it gave himself, with that loose ball, enough time to be able to swoop in and finish it off. Questions still to be asked for Echo Zulu, but the last minute and a half has been better for the side.
Yeah, that's probably the warm-up period over for Echo Zulu. Flomp Resont will get the first game on the board, but now game 2 is where they will need to turn things around quite a significant amount as well, because again, the one thing that concerns me the most is the fact that the defensive was constantly baited and contested by Flomp Resont. You know, they were able to get so much pressure on towards the blue half that Echo Zulu weren't able to handle it. And again, for a team that's been hailed as the best defensive team in the region, it is something to be a little bit concerned of for Echo Zulu. So game 2 is when they've got to switch things up. The question is, will they be able to do it? What do they need to do specifically to try and win the next game?
Yeah, for me, Echo Zulu, it's going to be a lot of dribble plays. Keep the ball to yourself. Flomp Resont play with a lot of pace and a lot of space. So if you close it down, do shadow plays and such, it should work quite nicely against them. And Jay, you got to remember as well, teams that generally excel in defense, or at least their stats show that they're excelling in defense, mean they're getting shot on more. And that's not a good sign. If you ever look at league play stats, the teams with more saves generally are the ones that are finishing up in the bottom 3-4. So they've got to take that name and throw it to the wind and create themselves a new name as the strategic build-up side, the counter team, not the defensive team.
Well, countering a little bit of a poor first game with some decent play in the second one. Passing play is looking pretty good and confident. That one's a bit too far forward, but the midfield control certainly looking pretty decent right now from Echo Zulu, as though takes this one out of the midfield. Bounce out from Noli to the corner, down to the center line where Impact able to receive. Godsmiller goes up to the backboard. Matean and Taz. Both players out here to the corner now as Taz tries to find the dribble away. Noli into the corner once again. Impact will find his way out to it past one man. Pinch into the second, potentially. Well, it'll go right into the hands of Though and Godsmiller. A bit too slower than what they would have liked to, so the counter-attack can come in. Though trying to receive on this clear pass from his teammate. But Taz able to block it off the backboard, and Noli continues to harass that backline, be a real nuisance to the Echo Zulu side. But a minute in and they won't score, neither will Flomp Resont. So a bit of a win-win for both sides. Impact almost found the big win for his team though.
Good for 50 from Though there. That will charge the ball downfield, and you can see Noli with pressure. He's got boost as well, so he should be able to linger around. He'll go from the midfield and hold up on the opposite side as Gods will set this up. But Gods want to go for net. Close. As close as you can be, really.
That's the defensive we look for. Let's see if Echo Zulu can hold out against the incoming forces, because it doesn't look like Flomp Resont are done yet. Godsmiller with a miss though. We'll leave it for Noli in the backline to find the overall clear. Matean forced back and Taz will come forward, try and pass out towards him. It is Godsmiller. Out to the corner. Impact challenged by Though. Backboard plays that Taz can disrupt. Put it back over to the orange half all the same. Again, a bit of a game of ping pong using the backboard defensive clears. Now Matean going to try and find a way to break the cycle. Bumps one player out. Transfers tries to strike, but Though comes forward and gets in the save. A little bit hairy for Flomp Resont in their backline. Now that they've got a little bit going here for Echo Zulu, they're starting to look like a bit of a dangerous force.
Yeah, they were sort of over-pushed downfield, and you could see Noli didn't have any boost. He's still struggling a little bit on it, and that's why Echo Zulu could get downfield. But here, this has been left a little bit too long, and so Echo Zulu can get onto it. Nice idea! Matean just off target, but only by a smidge.
And Matean continuing his pressure. Good pinch from Godsmiller. That's just off the post, though. No chances available. And Echo Zulu in a massive panic. Double commits coming through. All three players out towards the corner. And Godsmiller almost punished them for it. Now the dribble plays go right back. And Matean is able to reciprocate against Flomp Resont. But with better results, it's the first finally on the board for Echo Zulu.
Nerves of steel there from Matean to throw the ball out like that when you think of 50-50 is coming in and then to charge it down. He deserves that goal. It's finally going in Echo Zulu's favor, but it's only one. With 2 minutes left, this game is really heating up.
Well, Noli boom off to the backboard. Matean is here inside that corner. Only passing out to Godsmiller. He's going to try and strike back, but Taz has a much more confident defensive line in this game here. Though still teeing it past him, can't get it past Impact though. That will go out towards the corner. Noli booms back. Though there to receive it, plays it back in. What a passing play, but it's disrupted by the one man in the defense here for the Echo Zulu side. That would have been beautiful if it landed though. Ball in the center field. Impact will come out. Bit of an awkward touch, and Noli will try and return back to the blue half. Got a second touch in available, but no, Matean able to take it away though off the backboard one more time. Impact there to disrupt.
That annoys me. Impact's hit just to throw it downfield when he could have brought it in for dribble would have been such a better option there. At the moment, you're still seeing it.
Oh no!
They up and over. They're trying to throw the ball downfield, and they're catching themselves off. Flomp Resont can put so much power on their shots with accuracy, and they can just pull off these little plays like that. The counters, which are so deadly to tie up.
A big goal to find as well. I love the passing play back into the overall clearer. As though it puts another one on the board for Flomp Resont. I think he scored at least 3 so far in this series out of the 5 goals that they've had on Flomp Resont's side. But 60 seconds left to go, and both teams are tied up. Impact's going to try and change that. Gets it over 2, though barely takes it away. He's still got some boost to try and contest here. 50-50 on Noli. Got to leave it for a teammate to come in. Matean off the backboard, pushed away by Godsmiller. So crisis averted for the moment here for Flomp Resont.
I'm just looking at Echo Zulu right now. The follow-ups are not quick enough. They're not snappy. They're having to think about what to do in J. We know in Rocket League, if you're not being reactionary, if you're having to spend that time to think, you've lost a second. You've lost 2 seconds on a play. And right now, it is what is hurting Echo Zulu. They've got to just charge on in and trust their instincts.
Well, 10 seconds left, and Instincts won't be able to do much unless they find this play here. Godsmiller missed, Matean off the backboard, impacting the receive, but Noli there with a demo, and the ball remains inside that corner. Godsmiller will try carry it further forward. Good challenge by Taz in against though. Matean trying to control and keep it up high, allow Impact a bit of a chance to score right here. Good control, but no. Noli there with the save on the floor. Overtime for game 2. I believe our second overtime of the day so far here, Bacon. Neither side able to come out with a clear, defined advantage. It has been a bit of a back and forth one. And Matean passing to Impact, trying to see if he can get a good goal in for this one. The challenges will come through from Gods. And he was able to get it back over to that blue half once again. Inside that corner, he tries to work out it, but Matean's being, again, a thorn in their side. Though with a great redirect, but Taz reads it, gets it past him and his backup. Godsmiller just trying to recover at this stage. Off that backboard should also be defended, no problem.
Yeah, Flomp Resont also there, if you didn't notice, putting out some physical plays where they were trying to pull away the Echo Zulu players on the counter. But still, nothing lined up. Echo Zulu trying to just throw this ball downfield and hope for an opening. Nice opportunity here, but no one on the follow-up. Once again from Echo Zulu. They're continuously leaving 2 men in their own half. And that passing play there was nothing.
Look at Taz, look at Taz. He should push Noli as far away from the net as possible. Try and see if he can just force the issue on the part of Flomp Resont. He's recognizing that some of the defenses are looking a little bit scrappy, and they are able to punish one of those out from the corner straight into the right-hand side, and the last player left just couldn't get the job done. Noli fails, but Echo Zulu succeed as they get their first game in on this series.
What I like to see from Echo Zulu, finally, that charge downfield. Essentially knowing that the 50-50 is going to come through and a brilliant finish from Matean there. Jay, Echo Zulu, finally, 1-all. Who knows, the dream could be alive for these lads. So I'm excited to see how Game 3 is going to go.
Oh yeah, now Echo Zulu are really looking solid. You know, game 1 was a bit of a scrappy sort of affair. Game 2, however, this is starting to look like the Echo Zulu that might be able to hold a bit of a challenge here against the Flomp Resont side. And as you say, 1-1 in the series, this one could get very exciting indeed as we look to game 3 and see who will take the match point at this stage. I mean, place your bets. Echo Zulu certainly have come out of the gate swinging in game 2. And here in game 3, the kickoff won't be quite as advantageous as they really wanted it to. Though actually, towards Godsmiller, almost finding that first goal in its impact. The man that tees it up high and to the right-hand side. And Noli and those still keeping the pressure going. Off to the sideboard. Backboard plays. Not going to come through to full fruition. He goes towards the box, but not much further than that. Godsmiller, though, finds a lot of breathing room on the part of Echo Zulu and is able to strike against them for the first.
Yeah, Impact's touch there, not what he wanted. He got to the ball a little bit too late. Pops it up in the air, and a good response from Gods. They'll feel the pain on that one, but it's only one goal. You can see Tars already charging on that kickoff. Smiller will get this away. And now one-on-one, Nolly versus Matane, but Matane is solid in defense. The entirety of Echo Zulu is solid in defense. 1v1s are hard against them.
Yeah, the only real way to sort of play them out there is either to force the issue with demos and bumps or to do what Godsmiller did and find the only gap that they will leave. They try and counter-attack here, trying to get some shots on towards the orange backboard. It's Impact and Taz, both players going up, but Nolly will find the clear. Matane's a bit too far forward, but is able to quickly adjust. Follow through here into the backboard. Tee off against, though. Godsmiller trying to receive, though, here to try and pass back over to Nolly. He takes that way too high, though. Flomp Resont playing a lot faster and looser here in game 3. I'm not 100% certain if that's a positive or a negative. They have got that first goal on the board, but it has come at a bit of a cost of like, okay, well, where's the coordination that would have scored that particular setup? Well, this particular setup will work well for Echo Zulu as Matane and Taz combine for the first on their board.
Yeah, the cleanness that Flomp Resont play with has just been lost because they're trying to open up a bit more space and maybe a little bit more pace to counteract their opponents. And it has just made them a little bit fragile, Jay. A demo attempt coming out from Nolly as he charged downfield will be interesting, though. Is they are wanting to get a bit more aggressive, Flomp Resont.
Worn up and into the midfield. It's Godsmiller passing towards, though. Once again, smart reads from him, able to play around his teammates. We've oftentimes praised Godsmiller not only for being a good striker, but also being able to recognize when it's best to play to the backboard or pass to his teammates, and that's exactly what he's done several times throughout the course of this series. That still leaves the backline a little bit open and exploitable, but vice versa could be said for Echo Zulu. The challenge from, though, with the Godsmiller defensive. Taz trying his best to get to Impact, but though punishing in the most unlikely of positions.
And the thing is, Taz looking for Impact there is a good idea. It's what they should be doing. But the cut in from, though, crystal ball or something on that lad, as he predicted it, saw it coming up. And then with the accuracy to get the shot on target, impressive stuff. But it's only been 2 minutes into this game, Jamie. Still got 3 left to go. Tons to turn around for both sides.
Though and Gods in the back line, Matane and Impact here to the midfield, trying to contest that midfield. Godsmiller goes up, Taz trying to take it out wide to the right-hand side. Impact is there to receive it, but Godsmiller is on a bit of a rampage. He demos out one man, gets that 100 boost as well. Nolly and though trying to find a way to work in, but Impact has got it past all 3 players. They will be able to adjust, but Daz in with demos, pass out to Matane. This could be brilliant, but Godsmiller blocks it off at the midfield line. Still got pressure coming through. Nolly finally with a decent clear back downfield though. Gonna leave it for Godsmiller, who takes it up high on target for this one, but no. Matane there with the clear, able to just get the save and now follow through with his own counter-attack past 2 defenders, but though he's still in the back line on the backboard and able to get the backboard save.
Those done absolute magic with that ball. Unlucky on Nolly there, not being in the right place. But just his capabilities to get from end to end is crazy.
And though still trying to work off the small amount of pressure his teammates have given him. Oh, what a shot! A slight tap in from Nolly. is able to give the 3-1 to the favor of Flomp. Resont, though, with a very tight rotation and a very tight little shot.
That is it. For Echo Zulu, it's hard to get out of their defense purely because of the quick reactions from Flomp Resont. To be able to cut on in like that just means that they're dangerous from any angle on that.
Impact. Oh, off the backboard, it is again teed away. Impact with a big miss. Noli and Godsman are going to try and find a way out of here into the corners, though. Demoing out. Gods beating out Mateo, now leaving it for Though as he goes up against two players, beats them out. That's on target. Impact able to block it off, and Though demoed out by Mateo. Very nice and reactive from the Echo Zulu side. That was a very dangerous ball in a very dangerous position, and Noli and Godsman just can't recover off the back of the pressure play. We'll continue to work up the ceiling and the sideboard with Though actually winning out the fight. I thought that was good for Echo Zulu. Apparently not. It's 4-1. Flomp Resont dominant as they were in game 1. Now coming back in game 3.
How early Though got up for that as well. He was confident that his opponent was not connecting with it. And it is that boldness, the braveness, the courage that Though has, which makes him such a good player. And his teammates can form around that because I think as well, the confidence comes down to None's playing with two fantastic Rocket League players, and stuff like defense is going to be held up by them, so he can just charge at the ball.
45 seconds on the clock, 3 to go for Echo Zulu, and again it's Nolian Though with pressure play that will go back towards Godsmiller here in the midfield line. Mateo with an awkward block. Gods, that's so punishable, but he's just unable to get the 50-50 in. It won't matter too much here for the Flomp Resont boys, because again, they lead by 3. A ridiculous turnaround needs to come in from Echo Zulu if they want to try and contest this game. Else it will be match point for Flomp Resont. 15 seconds on the clock, halfway through the remaining timer. It's Noli and Though now playing off the Godsmith as they finally find a clear out to open space, trying to bit out Impact here with Mateo as well, trying to rotate it back over. It will be wide of the net, so no worries in terms of another goal, but many worries in terms of this series state because it is still on match point for Flomp Resont as they secure game 3, 2-1 up now. Mateo and Taz just pinch it off and get it on the floor, finish off. A fantastic game of Flomp Resont. Echo Zulu still looking confident though. Like Flomp Resont just turned the dials up to 11, I want to say.
That is it. Is Flomp Resont really showing their full potential, and Though stepping up like mad. The hat trick coming out from the lad this game. Echo Zulu just their defense, yeah, they're strong there. They're knowing they're having to throw away that solid focus on it today because they've got to get downfield with quick counters. But they just do not have an answer for this side when Though Gods and Nolly are playing at like just peak potential.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like they're the two players as well that we highlighted most specifically. You know, we talked about them being sort of the main sort of two strikers right now, and Godsmiller just being the main anchor around that whole thing. Like he is setting up his teammates so well and occasionally contributing when it's necessary. I'm loving the team dynamic right now here from Flomp Resont. They might concede this opening goal. It seems like they will. Everybody committing up far forward, and Though missing out the challenges coming through from Impact and Matean. That's the first scored in just 4 seconds for Echo Zulu.
Yeah, and I don't think this is going to be a big deal for Flomp Resont. They'll be confident they can get back in, but for Echo Zulu, Jay, that was massive, wasn't it? To have that confidence, say, okay, we've got 1 goal. We've now just got to find a second, and we can start the comeback, because you got to think this is a match point in Flomp Resont's favor.
An offensive holding against those basic shots. Godsmiller will not be able to get anything like that. Noli takes it up high off to the sideboard, bounce back inside that corner. 2 touches from Though and Matean. Moving back downfield, Impact there to try and receive it on the breakaway. It's Noli able to block it off on rotation, and Though try and follow through here. Control out, bumping Matean, but also back passing. This is Impact's chance to strike back. He will get over to the backboard. Matean not ready for that either, so no real punish opportunity available for the Echo Zulu side. No way to score that second goal in. Though and Noli playing off each other. Great reactive response. Godsmiller, the final man, but Taz still tees it up high, Though with a dunk down opportunity. Takes us to the backboard, though, as Noli and Godsmiller way too far out. Eventually come forward and eventually get us back at evens.
Yeah, Nolly is always so good on these absolute bangers. Ball straight out to him, and he can send it back. Impact, unfortunately, caught on that close post, not able to get across in time. 1-1, 58 seconds here, Jay. I'm liking how this one is developing, especially if Tars is ready on the kickoffs like that. Impact just wide of the follow-up.
Still Tars passing towards him. Mateo will come forward. The great angle. Impact saved against it. I'm not sure if that would have bounced off the post, but any chance that they would have had to score that one has been taken away by their own teammate. It's Taz trying to get it out to the midfield. Noli will boom it over to the corner, though is in position to receive it. Good challenge from Impact will take it away, but Godsmiller will win out the overall control. Pinch back in. That ball is set up to the other side corner. Way too far wide for any particular dunk down opportunity, as though booms it back in. Impact up and over. Godsmiller taking it over to though, playing this one off the backboard again. It's Taz able to get the receiver here. He tries to find a breakaway once again. A couple of awkward 50-50s and counter-attacks. Mecha Zulu shut down appropriately by Flomp Resont. The play up from though would have hit up towards that corner, but Matean able to block it off and save it anyway, giving a bit more momentum behind the counter-attack, but it does not last for long here on the part of Echo Zulu.
No, but this follow-up from though is going to be a little bit dangerous. Good on the inside from Tars, and defense can hold up. The problem is at the moment, Echo Zulu don't have a response. He's really fast, I want to say, put to the side balls that Flomp Resont just pull off with ease.
Impact working off the corner. Mateo and a great angle, and Impact able to respond. There we go. Lead gain for Echo Zulu once again, as finally they utilize that corner pressure to great effect.
Yeah, this is the sort of time when Caster's Curse, I don't mind at all, Jay, because that was a lovely pressure play coming out from Echo Zulu. Halfway mark now. Echo Zulu, they're down in the series, but they're up in game 4.
A massive opportunity opening up. Godsmiller going to try and return all the same here. It's Taz and Impact again, able to receive that pass. Nolly just back pitches it out of the way. Though with an awkward touch, leaving it for Godsmiller instead to come forward here off the orange half, though, being forced to rotate back alongside Noli. Impact to Matean will just control the midfield. Backboard plays. It's Matean with a second touch. He takes it wide. Impact still trying his best to contest as Taz rotates away, and though he's demoed out, no chance to take the dribbles up against the blue half of the field. Matean again gets that one to the backboard, but it should be easily defended by though. Straight in with a boom back clear over to the midfield.
Tars, watch what he's going to try and do with this. Slow the ball down, keep it at corner, but with no boost, he can't keep control of it. It's unlucky. Throws the ball to his opponent's side, and no, up in the air. Oh, he's going to get this. Oh. No! Tars, you know he's so clutch in the defense.
But not clutching off this time. Noli utilizing that ball up in open space. No clears coming through from Echo Zulu, and that is back at evens once again. A little under 1:30 on the clock for either side to score a lead. Godsmiller and though try and contest this. Kick off immediately though with a breakaway. It's Matean that's got to take it off the backboard, but still God's passing inland and no one's really there to receive. Nolly's still held back in the orange half, expecting someone to come forward for this. Not to be. It's still though 50 points of boost, carrying this further past one man, not past the second in Matean. But he will still try and contest this. Pinch up. This could be an open opportunity if someone wants to come forward and contest it. It's Godsmiller challenging on Taz. Bounce out again to the midfield. And 60 seconds left on the clock for game number 4. Plays in from though. Again, going to be a bit too acute on the angle, so no lead gained by Flomp Resont.
Yeah, but you can see those feeding it after his aggression earlier. He's trying all these weird and wonderful angles. And for me, to see a striker really in the mood, in his form, is fantastic.
That pinch is on target. Is God's going to get it? It will be able to do so just about. Worried for a second. It looked like no one was really in that net to get it away, but God's veteranacy and the experience to know exactly what to do. Very fast pinch from Noli. It's a shame he just sends it completely back over to the orange half with an overall clear coming through from one of the Echo Zulu members. It's though up, Matean out, 10 seconds remaining. He's trying to go for a solo play. 2 players actually commit to that one. And now Noli here with a breakaway chance. Taz has got to get this 50-50. It's off the backboard. Noli gets it off the crossbar. It's right on the line. Oh my God! Godsmiller barely getting in. That was one of the most insane moments I've seen casting Rocket League.
And that is why Flomp Resont are up top. Jay, that secures it. Flomp Resont move back up to first, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, don't worry, they were already first. They just cement themselves a little bit harder in there. 5-1 so far in league play. Flomp Resont, again, we called it the wildcard team of the season. Absolutely crazy. Jammer, dude, you've been sitting quietly in the background, but I'm expecting you to get loud with this because that was a great series from both sides.
I can't possibly get any louder than Jay just did. He just lost his mind, and I do hope he manages to find it by the time the next series
comes.
Wow.
Look, mate, like that was just a ridiculous.
It was
a ridiculous moment. Like I feel real bad for Echo Zulu, right? Because they had control right up until that point. One big miss from Taz caused that absolute chaos in the back line. And overall, Echo Zulu lost that because of that one defensive misplay. Now, I will say that obviously Echo Zulu did manage to get themselves together towards the end of that series and actually managed to hold a pretty decent fight. But when you can't handle the pressure like that against a team like Flomp Resont, like it's not going to go well for you. And I believe they might have just wasted their last chance as well of getting back into contention for the league play.
Well, we'll actually check about that maybe later. Folks are definitely currently calculating exactly what teams can make it, what teams cannot. I do believe there's still a tiny chance, although everything needs to fall Team Echo Zulu's way. And we said it at the beginning of the series that it's going to be an incredibly tough task for them against Flomp Resont, despite taking that one game and really looking as solid as ever in game number 4 as well. Team Echo Zulu seemingly once again let the game slip away from them, though with a perfect hat trick in game number 3. Even this game, they could have taken it. Another overtime, another perfect chance for Team Echo Zulu now that they've slowed the game down yet again, did not allow Flomp Resont to just roll in the goals one after the other. They could have taken it, but alas, one more time, they couldn't. Do you think there still has been a little chance for them to bring back the series? Do you think that has been enough in Team Echo Zulu to get this? Or whether it's once again just one tiny step that they just didn't make at the very end?
For me, it's got to be they need that one tiny step. Like we saw, it was equalized for way too long. They weren't pushing enough or being convincing enough to get another goal. Echo Zulu, we pretty much, I don't want to say it's secured that they're dropping down because they're not secured. Again, everything could go in their favor. But the likeliness is that they're dropping out this season. However, next season, there is a lot of potential. I expect probably a little bit of a transfer, like maybe a player dropping out and you one coming on in. But Echo Zulu as a core is a project that has a lot of potential, and I expect them to succeed in the future. This season, though, is just a builder season for them.
Yeah, I want to say the same thing as well. I mean, obviously for Echo Zulu, it's going to be a tough task getting back into the rival series next season. And as a result, I feel like that they really need to train hard during that offseason in order to try and keep that potential going, because, you know, that wasn't even a bad series from them, you know, even though a lot of their, like, you know, games tend to, or a lot of their series tend to indicate the fact that they might have a couple of troubles with some of the best teams. They've actually been getting it relatively close. And again, those last few games in that series, I think it really was a sort of case in point to what Echo Zulu can really do at the moment.
In one way or the other, I'm pretty sure the Team Echo Zulu will be proud of the fact that they qualified for the rival series. Their showing was not the worst. They've definitely just been missing that one tiny step that could have brought them to win in a game, in a series. The result might have been different. Still, we'll be holding on to their chances going further on. When we come back, though, it's the battle of two squads, as it's Baguette Squad who will be looking to bounce back against Underwater Squad after losing to RG at the very start of the day. So, see you after the break.